I think he got a bit of a flat tire there. Okay then. So, next morning, 8:21. I'm currently running a pre-trip, although I've already done it. I got out, and I gotta tell you guys something. It's windy as heck out here, so you probably won't be able to hear me anyway. But this tarp job I did, look at that. It's a bit freakish right here in the middle because for some reason it's pulling out the top, and I don't know why, but it's staying in place, so that's what matters. But I mean, this is one of the better tarp jobs I've ever done. Wind. This ain't gonna make putting these tarps away any more fun, I tell you that right now. Friggin' when I take off out of here, I'm covered in red mud crap. I wonder. I honestly do. But in case you didn't, I'm gonna be covered in this red mud crap by the time I get out of here. And you know, I'm very, 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 very tempted to go eat Sonic before I leave, but I need to use my time wisely. So, yeah. Stupid leaky trailer. That wouldn't happen if it weren't so leaky. Oh well, she'll come up. I'm gonna have my breakfast back here. If I don't go over there, you know. I parked right here. I ought to just go over there and eat Sonic breakfast. I really should. I don't know, maybe I will, maybe I won't, I don't know. We'll see. But for now, we're gonna go get this load off my deck in 135 miles. 3 hours worth of driving on these US highways, because I'm keeping my out of route as low as I can get it now. I didn't take but maybe about 8 miles total of interstate overall. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, I'm out of here for now. Well, that unload went as unsmoothly as could be expected in 80-mile-an-hour winds. And I can see that this particular load is probably not going to go any better. Because my straps are going to be thrown in the wrong direction as I throw them. But I'm picking up a load of salt here in Hutchinson, Kansas. I've been sitting here waiting to get a load for the last 2.5 hours. I have 5 hours and 6 minutes to go 550 miles. Hey, guess what? I'm not gonna make it. So anyway, the tarps came off. Oh god, this is hilarious right here. Okay, I got to that consignee, went to get out, and the wind blew the door back in my face, so I knew this wasn't gonna be fun. Went in, figured out where I needed to go, drove over there, got out, undid the X-strap, and pulled all the bungees off. And when I got done with pulling the bungees on the front tarp, the wind started catching up the lip and started throwing it all over the place. I'm like, nope, not ready yet. So I pulled a bungee down, hooked it on there, and kept it down while I got the other bungees off. So I got around. I usually start on the driver's side, pulling the bungees off, from the front to the back, and then on the passenger side, from the back to the front. Okay, well, I got all the way to the back, went around the other side, back to the front, no problem. And it started unfurling itself and flapping in the breeze, so that was fun. Got all the bungees off, and then I went around back to the driver's side where I had this one bungee hook. And it's like, okay, wait, one more thing. I had to undo the front flap and the back flap. Okay, I did that, and then I released that one bungee, and both tarps just flew off the freaking load. It was hilarious. if it hadn't crumpled it up in a pile that I would eventually later have to smooth out so that I could fold the things. Yeah, that was a disaster in the making. Thankfully, one of the forklift drivers came out who was going to unload me and was like, "You need some help with this, right?" Yeah, thanks. So we got the tarps folded. That went pretty darn well considering 20 and 30 mile an hour gusts. And then the tornado warning thingamajigger starts going off. I'm like, what the heck is that? Because I've never heard one before. I never heard of it. He's like, oh, that's the tornado warning. They do a test every Tuesday on it. And I'm like, well, with these winds, it ought to be an actual. So, yeah, that went on for about 5 minutes of absolutely ear-shattering noise that was just grating me to death. And that finished up, and got the tarps folded up. I rolled them up, got them back in the box, no problem. Then the bungees decided to be major buttholes and just exploded all over the place and ended up on the ground in a pile that I couldn't even unsort. The unload took way longer than it should have, let me put it that way. Well, actually, it all evened out in the end because I was all screwing around with this stuff while he was actually unloading me. So yeah, not a great unload, and I'm looking at this one, it's probably not going to be a great load, but we'll work through it, we'll get through it, we'll GTFO this place, and hopefully GTFO the wind while I'm at it. I need to get this dust off my lens, it is bothering me. That's better. So, yeah. I'm not going to have but maybe 4 hours to run by the time I'm all done with this because I got to steel tarp this load. Does it get any better? I'm only going to have 4 loads this week because these are going to take too freaking long. Yeah, I'm sent out on 100-mile bounces and 500-mile loads. Duh, no. Not when the loads take 2 and 3 hours to get and unload. Not in a 14-hour day. It doesn't work. So, yeah, that's what I'm working with at the moment. And I can see this other TMC guy over here is busy tarping his load. What fun. And why is he on his load now when he was just on the friggin' platforms over there? It doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense. So, yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, and we're gonna get out of here eventually. And we'll see if I can even make it to my 104-mile fuel stop in the time I have left once this stupid load is on my deck, strap, and tarp. Well, you have those tarp jobs that just make you say, not bad. And then you have those tarp jobs that make you say, oh yes. This is one of the latter. And I have nothing but the wind to blame for it. This job, well, okay, it looks alright. It looks halfway decent. Till you get back here and see this gigantic mess. Yeah. If I was paid to make these tarps look good, it'd be one thing, but I'm not. I'm not. And I am definitely not paid to tarp in 40-mile-an-hour gusting winds like this that brought me down to 3 hours and 17 minutes of remaining drive time to get 104 miles to 550 miles. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen by 4 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. Okay, so I had a chance to calm down. Driving always calms me down, most of the time anyway. You'll notice through most of these videos, it's always me complaining about the load or something. It's not always, almost never about the driving portion, because the driving portion actually gets me back on track as far as up here is concerned. Anyway, I have a plan for tomorrow, I think. Let's see here. So I drove an hour and 46 minutes after a 4-hour and 10-minute break. Okay, so here's what I can do with that. I can go back into that sleeper back there for 8 hours and come out with a 2/8 split. And tomorrow, okay, let's say I started this at 8:59. At 4:59, we'll just say 5 o'clock in the morning, I can drive out of here. Well, I'm gonna get fuel first. This is my fuel stop. I am parked in my fuel stop. Friggin' sweet. And actually, I'm getting better at this backing bit. You know, I actually angle backed into this spot. I feel rather good about that, because I know I'm not the greatest angle backer. And I did it without hitting anybody. Anyway, I can get started at 5 o'clock in the morning, get my fuel, and take off. I got 446 miles to go. Okay, so having driven an hour and 46 minutes, those hours will be off of the 14-hour clock and the 11-hour clock when the 8 hours is up. So I will have, okay, an hour and 46 off of 11 is 9:14. And on the 14, 12:14, of course. So I can drive for, I have, so I'll have 9 hours and 14 minutes on my drive clock and 12 hours and 14 minutes on the 14-hour on-duty clock. Okay, I'll explain these hours and hours of service and everything in detail later. I'm just not up to it right now. It seems I'm never up to it. I keep saying I'm going to explain them to all these guys in the comments, and I feel bad because I never do. I'll get to it, I swear I will. It's only a matter of time before I have to. I'll get fuel, that'll take about 7 to 10 minutes. So that'll be 7 to 10 minutes off of my 14-hour clock. So I only need about 7.5 hours. 450 is 7.5 at 60 miles an hour. And the nice thing about this is I'm basically going to be on I-35 for a very long time until I get into Iowa. I'm headed to Buffalo, Iowa, in case I didn't mention that already in this video. I'm taking I-35 basically all the way to here. Where is this exactly? Okay, this is in Iowa. I'm hitting US 34. Then I'm picking up Iowa 1. Alright. I'm all screwed up now. Okay. So I said Iowa 1. Iowa 1 takes me up to Iowa 92, which takes me over here to US 61, which takes me over to Iowa 22, and my drop is on Iowa 22. Now, I am fairly certain of where I'm going to get loaded tomorrow because, okay, here's Buffalo where the drop is supposedly. Here's Montpelier where I got that load of sheet steel with a trailer swap. Yeah, the deal's over here somewhere. I have it in here. I like the fact that I save my loads now. Mont SSAB. Yeah, so that is right there. So I'm fairly certain that's where I'm gonna get my load tomorrow. And I'm not too fond of getting a load there because it's a trailer swap. I'm not a big fan of trailer swaps. And the potential that I might be losing both of my steel tarps, and that would absolutely suck because one of my steel tarps is virtually brand new. But we'll take it as it goes. But I'm not going to have very many hours to drive after my unload tomorrow, so hopefully I can just get the trailer, sit there for a while, and just take it from there. Who knows how it's going to run. Who knows where it's going to go. But we'll take it all in stride. We'll get this thing done, and we'll call it. So I'm gonna call this a night right here and get off of the video, and yeah, we'll see how this week turns out. I'm hoping it'll be a 5-load week, but right now my hours just ain't up to it. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay.